It's another great Monday to talk about the games that we love. Another great Monday to review some of the games that went down during the week. And yeah, there were some massive games that went down. The biggest being the Carabao Cup between Chelsea and Liverpool, which Liverpool edged out Chelsea 1-0. Although Chelsea were supposed to win, but they couldn't convert. But we'll go into that later. First off, here are the results of the games that went down during the week. Great games. I enjoyed a lot of those games, especially the ones I was able to watch. But first, we'll be looking at the Bundesliga. And yes, it's another day to say that Leverkusen has gone 33 games unbeaten. 33 games unbeaten. They have not lost a single game this season, which begs the question, is this the season where we see another team give an unbeaten streak? The way it's going, Leverkusen might actually give an unbeaten streak. It might actually happen. The goal from Xhaka in that match, if you've not seen that goal, go and check it out. I'm sorry I cannot put it up because there's a lot of copyright issues when it comes to the Bundesliga. That goal was superb. It was crazy. Great goal. And he actually gave us the EA celebration after the goal, which made it even more interesting. Yes, they won against Mainz 2-1. And Bayern also won their game 2-1, which kept them on the 8-point lead, which is still good because at least Bayern still has a fighting chance just in case Leverkusen drop points. Not very sure, but there are still possibilities that they can drop points. We don't know. The league is still long. A lot can still happen before the end of the season, so we'll keep our eyes peeled. But one thing I know right now is Xavi is doing a great job, and he deserves a round of applause for what he's doing. Honestly, he does. Then we move into the Serie A, and I say this for a fact. For those of you that do not watch the Serie A, you're missing out on good football. I'm telling you, you're missing out on good football. Now, Inter Milan is currently topping the league with about 10 points, having played Lecce over the week and won 4-0 convincingly. What I can tell you is this. Inter Milan, there's no letting up in that team. They are going at everybody in full force. They are making sure that, look, whoever is second position, whoever is third position, you are not catching us right now. Juve is trying hard to pursue them, but Juve has been up and down this season, and it's not been really steady. I know that no Juve fan will be happy currently seeing that their team is not the team topping the Serie A table. But we have to give credit to Inter Milan and how well they've played this season. They've been so dominant, even in the Champions League. And if you ask me, who is my dark horse to win the Champions League, I'm telling you to be Inter Milan. If you watch them play this season, you will know why. Even the game against Atletico Madrid, it was basically one-sided for half of the game. Basically one-sided. Inter Milan dominated that game so well. Only problem was they were not able to convert their chances. I felt Anachovic should have had an hat-trick in that game if he had converted his chances. But well, it is what it is. And yeah, kudos to Inter Milan on how great they played this season. And then we move to the La Liga. First of all, my Barca fans, I'm here to tell you that we are back. We are back. Who not like him? May go his head knack one. We are back. They told us that we were languishing, that we could not do it. Please, I'm here to remind you, we are now second on the table. And not just that. Now only 5 points Madrid they use pass us. Only 5 points, meaning we can catch up. Now, it was a big deal for me knowing that we were able to beat Getafe as well as we did. And I'll tell you why. For those of you who have watched Getafe this season, you will know they are not an easy team to beat. The worst you can basically get out of Getafe is a draw. They are that disturbing this season. They have basically come into every team's home or away and played great. That's the truth of the matter. They've been a great team this season, but somehow my boys dispersed them well. Rafinha, Joao Felix, Firmino, they were doing things in that game. Lewandowski did not get a goal in that game, but had a great performance. Ilkay Gundogan, perfect. Frankie de Jong got a goal in that game. Frankie de Jong was brilliant in that game. And I'm really hoping that he doesn't get injured before the season is over. Because one of the things that has hampered his football this season is the fact that every time it looks as though we are enjoying Frankie de Jong, he just slips back into injury, which has been a major issue for us. We are really hoping that till the season comes to an end, Frankie de Jong stays fit. Honestly. And I'm really glad to have Marc-Andre ter Stegen back into the goal, because that second choice goalkeeper here, he almost, like, if I could stone somebody, like if I could actually stone, I would stone that guy. No offense. That guy made too many mistakes. It's great to see Andre ter Stegen back. It's great to see the team playing well. And yeah, I have confidence to say by the second leg of the Champions League, we will beat Napoli. Now, you will ask me, is it possible for Barcelona to win this league? I don't think it's impossible. I honestly do not think it's impossible. I think we can win the league. Most people may come and tell me, how? This one. Look, right now, two things are working in our favor, which, if you ask me, is still working in Man City's favor. Half of Madrid stars are currently injured. Jude Bellingham, Alaba, Militao. So many of their centre backs are injured. Their midfielders are injured. This is our chance. Is that a good thing for us? Of course. The more injury problems you have, the better for us. So yeah, it's a good thing for us. So I feel we can. If Madrid draws one game and loses one game and we win 2 straight games, we're on top of the table. I don't see Girona as a threat anymore. They've fallen by the wayside. So I feel that we could actually do it this season. Yeah, I believe that Barcelona has a chance of winning that league this season. Now, moving on to the Premier League. The pressure is getting worse. First off, the first big game. Man City versus Bournemouth. Great game. The game started off with Man City dominating as they should, because normally whenever we watch such games, knowing that in almost 8-9 seasons, Bournemouth hasn't beaten Man City, we were not expecting anything less. We expected Man City to come into the game and dominate, which they did. They came out, they played Erling Haaland, they rested Kevin De Bruyne for most of the game. You know, Erling Haaland was good. Phil Foden has been exceptional this season. I really am impressed at how well Phil Foden has played this season compared to previous seasons. You know, last season was not Phil Foden's best season. Everyone knows that. But this season, Phil Foden has put up the kind of performances that you want to see a player of his age and his caliber put up, which is very impressive. But I must say that at the second half of the game, things were turned around. And if you ask me, Man City were lucky not to have ended that game in a draw. And one of the persons I blame most for that reason is Semenyo. He could not convert. It was really sad. Solanke was basically not even in the game at all. I felt at some point they would have removed Solanke. Maybe brought on Billing. That's the Billing is not actually. I don't know if Billing is fit or not, but brought on someone else, because Solanke was basically not in the game. And it's sad to say that as much as they had the chance to equalize, they didn't, and it's really sad. But then we move to the Gunners. The Gunners. Arsenal fans, raise up your heads. You guys are doing well. 3 games, 15 goals. That is pure magic. 15 goals in 3 games. That's a lot of goals if you ask me. A lot of goals. But then, that's not my point of discussion. My point of discussion is this. Should Ramsdale be on the bench, knowing the kind of mistakes David Raya makes in certain games? This is the reason I said this. Now hear me out. For those of you who have watched David Raya, if there's 2 things that we can all agree with, he is always trying to anticipate where the ball will go to and always ends up making errors. That's one. The second thing we can all agree with is the fact that this man does not have any idea of positioning. His positional awareness as a goalkeeper is poor. There is no doubting the fact that David Raya has very poor positioning when it comes to his goal area. Now, let's look at the stats between him and Ramsdale. He has played more games than Ramsdale this season. He basically has 15 games. Ramsdale has 8. Clean sheets, he has more than Ramsdale, being that he's played more games anyways. Goal conceded, he has conceded more goals than Ramsdale. In 8 games, Ramsdale conceded 8 goals. In 15 games that Raya has played, he has conceded 15 goals. Now, we look at the goal conceding ratio. It is 0.9 to 1, meaning that the margins are not high. I do not understand why Ramsdale is being benched for this guy. Maybe because he's a better sweeper keeper. Maybe because he's Spaniard. Only God knows. But I feel that there's some foul play here, because I said it before and I'll say it again. I don't think David Ramsdale is better. David Raya is better than Ramsdale. I don't think so. When you look at the error margin, it is basically clear here. This guy has made 3 errors that has led to goal. Ramsdale has made none. When you look at goal conceded, he has conceded 13 goals and Ramsdale has conceded just 9. Goals prevented 0.8 to 2.1. Ramsdale is not a bad goalkeeper. Why is Ramsdale on the bench? Arsenal performance has been good, but some of the goals that they have scored this season against Arsenal has been because of bad positioning when it comes to David Raya. Other than that, it's been a great season for Arsenal. Now we move into the second leg. Will Arsenal be able to recreate this kind of form against Porto? One thing I've known about Arsenal at the Emirates is they are one hard team to beat at the Emirates this season. Do I think they will edge Porto out in the second leg? Yes. I think they will edge Porto out. Easy. It's not going to be an easy match, but at the Emirates, Arsenal is another team. So yeah, I think they will edge Porto out. Now, moving on to the biggest game of the night. Chelsea, Liverpool. First off, congratulations to the Reds on winning the Carabao Cup. Now let's move into the game. May I say this, and I believe all Chelsea fans can agree with me on this. Chelsea has a team with a lot of players with inexperience. They have no experience in that team. No passion. No desire. You guys cannot agree with me on this. Another thing that Chelsea lacks is a fighting spirit. If you ask me, Chelsea had a chance to basically beat Liverpool in that game. Let's keep in mind, Liverpool has a very long list of injuries. Salah, Diego Jota, Darwin Núñez, Thiago, Curtis Jones. To mention a few, there are so many, I can't remember all of them offhand. But they have so many injured players. Yes, Trent Arnold is still part of that list. Matip is part of that list. Some of these players, Bajetic is part of that list as well. A lot of injured players on the bench, not being able to play. Now, Chelsea scored a goal, it was ruled for offside. Somehow, I don't know how Jackson was not able to keep himself offside. You basically could have stood with Konate before that ball was played. I know one thing. On a foot race, I believe that Jackson would have gotten further than Konate. I don't know why he had a head start. But goal was ruled out for offside. Liverpool's goal was also ruled out for offside. The game was at its closing stages. I'm sure I said something to my other brother while that game was going on. I said, Liverpool's coach must have lost hope to be putting children in the game. Liverpool fielded 5 teenagers in a match of such importance. 5 teenagers. Chelsea fielded a full team. Keep in mind, with a midfield duo that cost them 200 million plus. You have Jackson, you have Nkunku, you have Fernandes, you have Caicedo, you have Kopama, and no goal. Now, we look at the chances missed. Gallagher versus the goalkeeper. A ball is given to you. Somehow the keeper covers you. Why don't you go around the goalkeeper? Why do you try to place the ball? You basically know he has covered. You go around the goalkeeper and shoot. Chelsea could not convert the chances they had. Liverpool got a chance in the dying minute of the game. If you settle down to look at that goal, there were 4 players standing in that same spot Van Dijk ran to and nodded that ball into the post. 4 players. You are telling me out of these 4 players, nobody sighted Van Dijk when he was going to nod that ball. Nobody. It is truly sad to see the way Chelsea is playing. If you cannot beat a team that had 5 teenagers and only the likes of Endo, Diaz, who again? Elliott, who basically is still growing. Van Dijk. Those are the only 4 senior, Antimikas. Those are the only 5 senior people on the field. And they could not still beat that Liverpool team. Chelsea needs to go into the drawing board. And I also believe at this point in time, I believe all Chelsea fans can agree with me when I say this. It's time Pochettino goes. The man does not have a track record of winning trophies. Let's be factual. Mention the time you've ever seen Pochettino win a trophy. You can never give me an instance. I think it's time he goes. No offense to Pochettino. I feel that someday he'll be a great manager, but he cannot manage this current Chelsea team. And some players at that club need to go. My honest opinion on that game, I felt that Chelsea would have won that game. They could not take their chances. Liverpool took their chances. Congratulations to Liverpool. But at the end, it was a great week of football. I enjoyed every game that went down during the week. And I cannot wait for the coming week of football.